Live, breaking news from KCTV5.
Thank you for joining us here at 4 o'clock. I'm Carolyn Long. We are following two breaking news stories here in the metro. Two killed in a house fire in the Northland, including at least one child. But first, we're also learning human remains have been found outside of a home in Grain Valley. KCTV5's Greg Payne joins us live now from that scene. Greg, so far, what have you learned?
Yeah, Carolyn, this started off as a search in a missing persons case. Now, the FBI and law enforcement have been focusing in on this home here on Buckner-Tarsney Road in Grain Valley. They've been digging for several hours, and you can even see parts of the property that they actually have been doing the digging. Now, they do say that they have found remains at this time. The Independence Police Department won't release the name or age of the person who was found, but says the victim's family has been notified.
If someone has a family member that's a missing person out there and you think it has something to do with this case, unless you've been in contact with our detectives today, it is not. It is not. So that they know. The family is aware.
Now, even though officials have found those remains at that property, they say that they are going to continue to search. Now, coming up at 5 o'clock, you're going to hear from residents in the area and their reaction to this whole situation going on in their neighborhood. Reporting live here in Grain Valley, I'm Greg Payne for KCTV5 News.
All right. Thank you, Greg, for that update. We'll talk to you later on tonight. And now to that heartbreaking story out of Kansas City. Multiple people killed in a house fire on North Avalon, including a child. KCTV5's Carolina Cruz has been following this story for us all through the afternoon. Carolina, what do we know, or what are you hearing at this point about these victims?
Well, we know, Carolyn, that there were a total of 5. Police have not yet said their gender or their ages, but as you mentioned, at least one of those children has died. And this is still an active investigation here on scene. We still have both police and fire working together. One neighbor I spoke with gave some insight into this neighborhood. She says it's a very tight-knit community. There aren't many homes on this block, so this is a devastating situation for them. When first responders first got here, they found one person by the front door. There was heavy fire burning through that front of that house and lots of smoke. 4 victims were inside. Firefighters responded here after receiving several 911 calls reporting people were possibly trapped inside. EMS then took 4 people to the hospital. 3 of them were children. And this afternoon, the Kansas City Police Department took over that investigation where they confirmed that 2 people died. 2 others are in critical condition. And we are told that 5th person is in stable condition. The bomb and arson unit and forensic investigators have been here at the scene gathering evidence and speaking with neighbors.
We want to start these investigations and be thorough. That way, if there is a cause determined later and it turns out to be suspicious in nature, we want to make sure that we're putting all our resources to that.
And here's what we know about this case and what we don't know. Right now, we do not know a cause. That is still part of the ongoing investigation. We also don't know the relationship between these victims. And lastly, we don't know what kind of injuries they suffered yet. That's something that police are still working on, learning, and then releasing to us so we can update you. And we spoke with first responders about the toll that this takes on a neighborhood as well as first responders. We'll have that part of our story coming up at 5. Reporting in Kansas City, I'm Carolina Cruz, KCTV5 News.
It is horrible.